Saints 365 is a passion project to glorify God and honor His saints. This project is based upon the book, The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler.
April 27th, St. Peter Canisius, Confessor and Doctor. The year one great heretic broke from the Church was the year in which Peter Canisius was born. The year 1517 saw Martin Luther begin the work which led so many minds into error, but in God's providence it was the dawning in the life of the future saint of a new era of battle against heresy. The Netherlands was his birthplace, but every part of Europe felt his influence before he died and since. His early education was not for the Church, but after making a vow of celibacy in 1540, he entered the Society of Jesus 3 years later. From the day of his solemn profession, his whole life was spent in the service of the truth. He opened many colleges, engaged in disputations, and won back many from heresy. By his clear and forceful teaching, he preserved the faith of many Catholics. No class was excluded from his ministry. He explained the catechism to children and heard their confessions with the same, if not greater, enthusiasm than that which he showed their elders. Poland, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany were the scenes of his activity, and though he met with opposition, he showed that the best work for the cause of truth is done when it is presented without ridicule or bitterness towards opponents. He shone particularly as a writer, and he believed that the defense of the Church at home was as important as the conversion of the heathen. His catechism went to more than 200 editions in 12 languages during his own lifetime. His death occurred on November 21st, 1597. While general of the Society, he received the application of St. Stanislaus Kostka, and St. Aloysius attributed his entrance into religion to Canisius's influence. He was beatified on November 20th, 1869, canonized and made a doctor of the Church in 1925. Reflection. A baptized Christian, and particularly a priest, is the salt of the earth and the light of the world. To act in this twofold capacity requires a combination of trained intelligence and disciplined holiness. Also celebrated on April 27th, St. Turribius, Archbishop of Lima. Turribius Alphonsus Mogrobejo, whose feast the Church honors on April 27th, was born on the 6th of November 1538 at Mayorga, in the Kingdom of Leon in Spain. Brought up in a pious family where devotion was hereditary, his youth was a model to all who knew him. All his leisure was given to devotion or to works of charity. His austerities were great, and he frequently made long pilgrimages on foot. The fame of Turribius as a master of canon and civil law soon reached the ears of King Philip II, who made him judge of Granada. About that time, the see of Lima in Peru fell vacant, and among those proposed, Philip found no one who seemed better endowed than our saint, with all the qualities that were required at that city, where much was to be done for religion. He sent to Rome the name of the holy judge, and the sovereign pontiff confirmed his choice. Turribius in vain sought to avoid the honor. The pope, in reply, directed him to prepare to receive holy orders and be consecrated. Yielding at last by direction of his confessor, he was ordained priest and consecrated bishop. He arrived at Lima in 1587 and entered on his duties. All was soon edification and order in his episcopal city. A model of all virtue himself, he confessed daily and prepared for Mass by long meditation. St. Turribius then began a visitation of his vast diocese, which he traversed 3 times, his first visitation lasting 7 years, and his second 4. He held provincial councils, framing decrees of such wisdom that his regulations were adopted in many countries. Almost his entire revenues were bestowed on his creditors, as he stylized the poor. While discharging with zeal his duties, he was seized with a fatal illness during his 3rd visitation and died on the 23rd of March, 1666, at Santa, exclaiming as he received the sacred viaticum, "I rejoiced in the things that were said to me. We shall go into the house of the Lord." The proofs of his holy life and the favors granted through his intercession induced Pope Innocent XI to beatify him, and he was canonized by Pope Benedict XIII in the year 1726. Reflection. St. Turribius was a model for all states, as a holy youth, as a pious and zealous layman, as a great and exemplary bishop. St. Peter Canisius and St. Turribius Pray for us.
Saints 365 is narrated by Rob Roller, edited by Josh Bach, and produced by Our Local Parish Productions. Funding for this project is made possible by Catholic businesses. Please go to the business directory at ourlocalparish.com to support these generous businesses. Thank you for listening. God bless.